Hello, welcome to Love, Grow, Live Free. Thought I would visit with you from a different location today. Since I had no guests in my Airbnb, I thought I'd come from the master suite. King size bed, private terrace with partial ocean view, massive bathroom with jacuzzi tub. It's sweet. Anyway, I am so excited to see you. I am a little energy low today because I just played full out for the last 7 days in Tony Robbins' Life Mastery as a crew member. And I think it just takes, as my friend Leslie says, it's in your DNA or it's not if you're going to be a crew member, because it's volunteer and it's long hours, and but the rewards are amazing. When you see people coming in down and overwhelmed or living in fear or doubt or anything, and then you see day by day they get the lessons, and then all at the end their face is lit up. They're on fire for life, and they're positive, and they've changed their story, and they're ready to be leaders and give back. It's so incredible, and it's such a ride, because we're there, 12, 14, 16 hours a day, and just making sure everything goes right. And we're there for our members, our participants. And another benefit of crewing is, since I've already taken Life Mastery in August of 21, I can now be a crew member, and it's like taking the material again and refreshing, which I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm left to my own devices, my stinking thinking kind of grows back a little bit without that, guard at the door saying, hey, we're not thinking that way anymore. And it was such a reminder to me how far I've come. When I first took UPW in March of 21, I had just come to Cancun. I'd been here a few months, and before that I was practically bedridden. Like I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't walk. The only place I felt relief was horizontal. So, how I explain that is, after chemo, and mastectomy and reconstruction and post-secondary autoimmune, that would just send my body into an inflammatory response. I would get a medication for this, which would cause more responses, which would cause more medications. And by 2020, I was on a dozen medications and in bed with my body, mind, spirit complex slowly dying. And I really had given up a lot of hope that life would ever change. I would go to work daydreaming about living somewhere else or living in, my dream was actually Costa Rica, but they were closed during that big event that shall remain nameless, because you know how YouTube is about not parroting the establishment's talking points. Which reminds me, at the end of this live, I want to talk to you about going over to Rumble, because what YouTube's been doing to its members is not okay. And anyway, so back to my first UPW. There's a lot of motion going on. Your energy's up, and then you're settled, and then your energy's up, and then you're settled. And there's reasons for it, but it becomes like experiential learning, not just talking at you. It's you're experiencing it, you're absorbing it. And but I couldn't even barely get off the couch, my UPW. And then by Life Mastery, I mean, I was slightly better, but not a ton. I was driving through Mexico, um, completing my goals from UPW. I'd gone back to Oregon, sold everything I owned, my truck, my home on half an acre, um, and I bought a motorhome, packed up my 4 cats and the things I wanted to take with me, got rid of everything else, and drove 4 months and 5,500 miles, or 8,000 kilometers to those of you that are not on the US system. And I drove back here to Cancun, but it was in the middle of that Life Mastery was happening. And I pulled off the side of the road at a Holiday Inn. I don't even know, maybe it was Villa Hermosa, some town, and I stayed a week in the hotel, just so I could participate, because I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was so done with my life being less than mediocre. I was so done living in pain. And all that time, that little voice, Sarah, you're meant for more. You're meant, there's more to life than this. And so I took Life Mastery, and it was August, September of 21. And looking back at that from where I am now, and completely able to do they have this this dance crew that after the breaks you come in and you dance and you move, and and I was able to do that this time. I wasn't able to do that before. And it was just really a wonderful refresher for me. Last year I crewed it, and I started with what I'm about to tell you here in a second. I had started on this raw till 4 or 5. I was very flexible with it, but raw whole foods in a blender. So it wasn't juice, it was smoothies. And I put things in there like cilantro. Cilantro is an excellent chelator that pulls the heavy metals out of your system. And there's a very important reason why that's important that I'll get into. It's very important. I'll just do it now. It's the air we breathe, the food we eat, everything is toxic, pretty much. Few things are not anymore, especially with what they've done with the food supply. You can take a box of cereal, bunch it all up, and stick a magnet on there, and you'll actually find metal particulates of different kinds. So anyway, cilantro is an excellent chelator, and then I put celery in it because celery is a diuretic, so you have that pull push, and you let the body work itself with the food that you eat. So I'm pulling the heavy metals out, and with the cilantro, the celery is pushing it out through the bladder because it's a diuretic. And then I would put things in there like either a banana or a plantain. I would put papaya for vitamin C. Sometimes I'd put spinach in there for the iron. And there's other things I would put in it, but we're going to get more in detail as my videos go along. But this Life Mastery was, once again, so amazing. Gosh, I've already talked 9 minutes. Isn't that amazing? I was just, my friend Nate from another YouTube channel. Hi, Nate. He has these beautiful, fluffy white dogs. And his YouTube channel is Land Cloud Adventures. And he has, what I've always admired in him was the gift of gab. He would do these lives and I'd watch, and he'd just keep talking. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had that ability. And we're at 9 minutes, 33 seconds. And apparently I've acquired the skill because I'm still talking. But I have so much more to share with you. So I did 7 days of Life Mastery as crew. What that looks like is we start off with the registration of the crew members, and then we do our training. Then we register participants, and then we had a leadership day, a full day just for crew members to take a leadership education, guidance, pointers. I mean, phenomenal speakers. Um, and then we went into the actual program itself. Um, and that's a 5-day program. So on day 1, Lauren Lahav, she's been part of the Tony Robbins seminar program for 33 years. She was handpicked by Tony and Sage Robbins to actually do the Life Mastery. Life Mastery is a creation of Tony and Sage about whole being wellness. It's about your mind, it's about your physical body, it's about spiritual, it's about emotional, it's about mental. They had things there this time. They had the most magical sound bath. Like, even if you're not a believer, or even if you're a person that thinks all that stuff is woo-woo, you sit in this sound bath and your whole body, like, I was so zenned out. I was just listening. It was so amazing. They had those big white bowls, and then they had 3 people doing different sounds, and the ocean waves, and the chimes, and and I mean, you were transported somewhere else, and it wasn't where you were. It was amazing. I'll have to get their name in another video. Sorry, my dad just sent me a PM. So, hi, Dad. If you're watching, love you. I'm 52 years old. Hi, Papa. So, let's see. But then we start the first day. You know, the crazy thing is they did an ice bath the first day. And I didn't, as crew, I didn't participate in that, but they're really talking about the benefits of doing mild shock for the body and how to increase your longevity. That's really a lot of what Tony's Life Mastery program is: how to increase your years, how to increase the quality of your years, quantity and quality. And then we had Anthony Williams first up. He was amazing. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the celery juice cleanse, or he's known, like, on Instagram as the medical medium. He gave so much information, and I do have his book, Cleanse to Heal, and I'm going to dive into that with you in coming videos, where I'm actually going to be doing one of his cleanses. We also had JJ Virgin, and she's all about protein balance. So my steps, we had this one thing too called RPM, and it's about decision making and how you can get your dreams, desires, decisions done quickly, rapidly. And you talk about the purpose, you talk about the reasons and the results, and then you map it out, and boom, I mean, you hit the ground running. You're going to get things done. And that's kind of what I did moving to Mexico here. That whole story, I think you remember. Like, I decided to go home, sell my house. I found a buyer within 3 hours. It sold. Hadn't even listed it yet. No frills offer. Like, it was no contingencies, no inspections. Boom, cash offer within 3 hours. So I know this stuff works. Let's see. Today what I've done is I've set up my juicer. I have a Green Star. I put it on the counter, in the middle of the counter. And I'll post pictures of this maybe in the community. But I'll also be taking videos, because later tonight I'm going to be cleaning out my refrigerator. I'm cleaning it all out of anything that doesn't apply. What I'm choosing to do is the celery juice cleanse in the morning. Drink water first, then celery juice, then smoothies all day. And then I'm going to go in with, in the evening, JJ Virgin's, about the protein balance. And it's really about quality proteins, not necessarily, you don't even have to have meat if you don't want to. But it's about 1 gram of protein per ideal body weight is the math. And so I'm going to get some chicken, and I have some tuna, but there are many times that I eat vegetarian a lot. And I'll even start experimenting with Anthony Williams. He has a ton of wonderful recipes in his book. Anthony Williams is really on the forefront of health and wellness. If you ever go to his Instagram, Medical Medium, and watch some of the people that have videoed themselves in their own journeys, it's truly mind-blowing, because I relate to so many of them, because I was truly locked up. And his premise is so many of us have the EBV virus, which is 90% of us. And there are foods that actually trigger it, that feed the EBV virus, like eggs. Like, who knew? So I have all these eggs in my fridge. I'm going to be getting rid of them, because I'm going to actually eliminate the foods that are EBV triggers and go on this cleanse. And then in the evenings, I'm going to be doing the protein. And it could be beans and rice. You know, that makes it complete protein. So we're good there. And what I want to do is I want to record all of it for you, and make little videos. My commitment right now is live every week, but I'm going to be making a lot of shorts for like Instagram, YouTube, my LinkedIn, and just sharing the journey with you, because I did lose 60 pounds doing the raw till 4 and then having my tostadas in the evening. I've mentioned that before. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but they're in past videos. And then somehow I stopped. And during, you know, with this heat, I'm inside a lot. And so, you know, very easy to munch. The secret that I've been keeping is corn chips. I love chips and salsa. Now, fortunately here, food is a lot less toxic. I'm not saying it's not toxic free, but it is less toxic. So I was able to find and make some salsas, and the chips I was able to find were but I still gained, I don't know, 5 pounds, you know, and once I realized that, like, oh, things are feeling a little snugger, you know, a little tighter, and I stopped, and I've gone back, and I'll tell you, right now I am 233 pounds. My highest was 284 pounds, and I'll be sending pictures of that, and I'll make a video about it. But you know, I had a spiritual advisor, mentor a long time ago, that told me you can't give away what you haven't got. And I think I've mentioned that before. One of the reasons why I had this block in me, oh, I can't go on now. Like, who's gonna, you know, I don't have it. I'm not perfect yet. Well, no. And if you want perfect, this isn't the channel for you. I just gotta say. So, what I can say is you can go along with the journey with me and see where we go. Things are moving forward with the house, and my final destination, I'm hoping, is Costa Rica. But in the meantime, I will be doing these healthy habits that I will incorporate in my day and include you in. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk to you about. The one thing, let's go back to Rumble. I do want to tell you that, you know, there's this saying called "to thine own self be true." And one of the hard things for me on YouTube is that I'm not free to say everything I think. I'm just not, because if I did, I would probably be in that massive group of people that have already been purged from YouTube for reasons that are not, in my opinion, legitimate. They're just not legitimate. They're basically, we're living in 1984, George Orwell's 1984. You know, those of us who do the wrong think, you know, remember wrong think, we get penalized. And I'm the one that was always banned on Facebook for a period of time for sharing my educated opinion, not just my opinion, but research upon research opinion. So I'm thinking that what I'm going to be doing is maybe keep my lives here on YouTube, stay in touch, But also I'd like to move all of my videos over to Rumble, where it's been stated they don't they don't partake in cancel culture, you know. Like, I'll give you an example. There was an allegation against Russell Brand, okay? I didn't know who he was. Didn't care. And then I started listening to him, and, you know, he's somewhat logical, and he was just sharing opinions. And then he went on some late night talk show, and he read headlines and facts about things that we're not supposed to talk about. And within 10 days, he was canceled off of YouTube, off of allegations from his past 20 years ago. Now, there was no research into it. It was only an allegation. There was no investigation. There was no court. There were no charges. There were no convictions. It was an allegation. Are you hearing me? An allegation. YouTube demonetized him. That's about $1 million a year. Boom. Surprised they didn't deplatform him like they've done everyone else, or if you've heard of the mass Twitter purge. So that is, along with my Look Good program and the imposter syndrome, you know, to know thyself, right? It was hard for me to come on YouTube and just talk to you because I have so many opinions, and I have to pause and think, and what can I say, what can I not say? So I do think that in the near future, I will be moving a lot of my videos over to Rumble, and keep my life here with you, though, because I'm so excited about this future. Like, oh my God. And before I let you go, one thing that I do want to do is take you with me. Got to watch the cords, and okay, here we go. I wanted to give you a treat, and pardon me if I don't know where this, let's see. All right. Gonna go out the door here. So this is out on the private terrace. That is the sunset over the mangrove. Isn't that beautiful? And then the best part is, oh wow, that sunset's amazing. Let's see if you can see that. See that right? Let's see, see that right there? That's the ocean. Now, had I come out earlier, probably would have been a lot bluer, but it is what it is. And right now there's a really nice breeze going, and I just, wanted to share with you. Hey, am I still here? Oh, I think I lost internet connection, so I guess I'm gonna go back in. Oh, let's just maybe say goodnight here. Sending you tons of love today and every day. I wish you nothing but the best. If you ever get an opportunity to do a Tony Robbins program, from my heart to yours. If you're dissatisfied with your life, if you want to make improvements, if you want to change anything, if you're just soul sick, you know, just go. I'll put some information down below in the description once this uploads. And let's just, do you hear 30 seconds of the sounds? The birds, the breeze through the palm trees. I mean, how lucky am I, right? I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. Sending you tons of love. See you next week. Bye for now.